The idea of parental involvement in skateboarding is a foreign concept to many skaters of my generation. Many of us went it alone, often misunderstood, or worse, ignored. But there were exceptions, and it was in such homes where we gathered to watch skate videos, and in whose backyards and driveways ramps were built, attracting skaters from all over the neighborhood, creating a place where we felt appreciated. I've always respected that. When we take into account just how many young skateboarders there are today, parental involvement becomes even more important. And through it, skateboarding has grown and grown up. What was once seen as a rebellious activity has been legitimized in many communities because of the actions of caring and supportive parents. Parents like Tom Bruno in Crownsville, Maryland.
It was so important for me to do this for them. Wanted them to have a nice place to skate in their own yard and also have a lot of other kids over and give them a place to skate where they could, I know they'd be safe and be off the streets.
And how many kids utilize the ramps?
On a regular basis, there's 10 kids.
Mostly all neighborhood kids? Or?
All neighborhood kids.
Oh, that's cool.
I was very fortunate that my kids, when in school, asked who their hero was. They both said me, you know?
Oh, that's awesome.
And this is part of it. We build the ramps together, we skate together. When I get home from work, Wade will say, "Dad, you want to go out for a skate?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's roll," you know?
Nice. When I was young and I was playing sports, parents were involved, but usually it was like they were cracking the whip, you know? It was like they wanted to see performance. They wanted to see, you know, their kid could potentially be their ticket out of this dead-end town, you know what I mean? That was the mentality. Yeah, I see that in skating now, too. But there's really something to be said for just the act of facilitating and being there as a father and as a friend and as a partner and, you know, having something like this where you're in it together, you know? I mean, I could see where they would feel that way, you know?
This neighborhood is geared a lot towards soccer, baseball, lacrosse, and basketball, and I've coached their teams for a number of years. And I watch other parents, and they push their kids, and like you said, some parents, I believe, think that their child is their ticket to whatever the next level is. And I always just encourage my kids and give them the tools to do what they need to do. And that's why we have this. That's why we're here.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I kind of grew up skating in the era of the backyards where that's about all we had besides the streets in front of our houses, you know. There's a few kids in my neighborhood that had backyard ramps, and it meant a lot to us. It meant a lot to the kids in the neighborhood, you know, and having a place to go, a safe house to go to where you know, where you were welcomed, you know. It's a really important thing, and I think what you're doing is a good thing here.
Yeah, thanks. I enjoy the kids coming over. All I ask is that the younger ones wear their helmets, and anybody that comes here, just pick up your trash. Take it out of here with you.
Skateboard class? Is this real? Is this really happening?
The desire to participate and facilitate his son's newfound interest in skateboarding led Fillmore, California middle school teacher David MacDonald to forge new ground, creating a skateboard class at school, the first of its kind in the state. In the process, he has positively affected a great number of the student body, changing the way the school and the city view skateboarding.
My son came home from baseball practice. He said, "Dad, I don't want to play baseball anymore. I want to be a pro skater." And for us, it was like, what do you mean you don't want to play baseball anymore? He's all, "No, I don't want to play baseball anymore. I want to be a professional skater." And it was tough for me because I can help him with his baseball. I can help him with basketball. I can help him with football, but I have no clue how to help him with skateboarding.
I understand, like, your son comes home, your son becomes a skateboarder. You go, whoa, okay, and you start making some moves to adapt to that and be supportive. How do you get a school board, you know, a community to embrace that? I mean, because now this is a gymnasium that's traditionally used for basketball and now we see skateboarding scuff marks on the floors, on the walls, and on the benches, and that's accepted. That's part of the curriculum here.
It's part of the curriculum.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you might have 60 kids play youth football, maybe 100 kids play youth baseball. But when we talked to the kids, we had like 500 kids who either A, wanted to skateboard, or were skateboarding and wanted to continue to skateboard and wanted to take the skateboarding class. And it was eye-opening. I mean, what a better use for your facility than the gym than to be for skateboarding.
I started skateboarding in 1984, and I could never have dreamed that there'd be such a thing as a skateboard class one day at a school. Nice. Keep your shoulders right over your board the whole time. Yeah. You got it, Brett. Nice and low, bend the knees, there you go. And you see the skate program here as being of real significance.
It's integral. It's actually the core now of what Fillmore Middle School is. In other words, how can we use skateboarding as a means of which to increase student achievement, increase physical fitness, increase self-esteem. Skateboarding is going to be our centerpiece.
Well, you know what I see? I mean, there's kids that are skating and they're going for it and they call themselves skaters, but there's also a girl over there who's just against the wall and she's not really doing anything.
Right.
But she's here. She feels like she's a part of something. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have to achieve anything other than the door is open and she's welcome to come in and be a part of it.
Right.
That doesn't happen in traditional sports.
No, and the worst day of PE for most kids is the day we pick teams. If you're not the best athlete, well, you know, you're always getting picked last, and they hate that day. Yeah. But when we started skateboarding, there wasn't any more teams. It was like, there's 51 individuals out there, and all they had to do was pick their board. But they all interacted, they all did their stuff. Nobody was like, oh, look at that kid. Which is, like you say, in traditional PE, it's not that way.
Yeah.
You know, it's who scores a touchdown, it's who's faster, it's who's, you know, this or that, so.
Skateboarding is just kind of like a all for one for all kind of, you know, all in it together kind of mentality, you know. It's really kind of an open and level playing field where everyone's just kind of in it together. And you see that at the skate parks, you see that out in the streets. You see it here today, you know, it's pretty special.
As someone who's totally new to this sport and new to, I guess, the observation of it, it's mind-blowing because you just don't see that camaraderie.
Opening the door and facilitating something like this is opening the door to opportunity, really, because you learn a lot about yourself when you're riding a skateboard, you know? And when we come to school, generally speaking, don't really learn a whole lot about ourselves. We're kind of taught structure and the way society sees the world and the way we want the world to be for, and you get on a skateboard, it's kind of a different experience, and I think it's very encouraging a lot of times. I see that spark in kids' eyes where they're suddenly like alive. It's great. I think what you got here is great, man. You're onto something. Yeah. You're definitely onto something.
I'm a lucky guy.
Lake Havasu, Arizona has had a skate park for years. But while the city continues to grow, the skate park has remained unchanged and unable to adequately and safely support the growing number of kids who go there to ride their bikes and skateboards. Seeing a need, Rachelle, Duncan, and Julie Sasseen, two moms brought together by tragic circumstance, have taken it upon themselves to ensure that all the youth of Lake Havasu are provided a safe and challenging place to pursue their passions. Through the creation of the Tinell Memorial Committee, they have rallied a community to build a new park in honor of local BMXer Patrick Tinell and skateboarder Colin Sasseen.
Who spearheads all of this?
Me.
How did you get involved, and why are you leading the charge on this?
Well, I've got 4 boys that BMX ride and skateboard, and for a long time I've come down to this park and seen it, being overused and overcrowded. And then when we lost our soldier, who was a BMX rider, his name was Patrick Tinell.
And he went over to Iraq?
Yeah. Unfortunately, he lost his life over there. He was a really talented guy, a really talented soldier. And he used to come down to this park and he would teach kids, his tricks, and everybody knew Pat for the crazy stuff that he would do. He was crazy.
So then his passing in Iraq, that had a great impact on the community?
Yeah, everybody just kind of got together and said, let's do something that Pat would have loved. And we know that Pat was wanting a new park, and we're like, let's just do it.
Then how far into this process was it that Colin passed away?
Well, he died in March, so about a year. And I was like any other busy working mom. I knew about the skate park. Every time I'd see a donation jar, I'd stick something in, but I really wasn't involved. And then when Colin died, he was so about this park, and he used to always tell me about it. I told my husband, I said, this is just what we need to do. So we made a big donation to the park.
Colin was a skateboarder.
Mm-hmm. It was his passion. That kid lived, breathed, and ended up ultimately dying skateboarding.
Julie's son was skateboarding in what should have been the most safe place for him was his own driveway. And he fell into the street and was hit by a car and was killed instantly from his injuries. And that has also spawned a bigger awareness as to why we need a safer place for our kids.
14?
14.
I started skating when I was 14.
After he died, he just told everybody to make donations to the skate park, and someone set up a fund in his name, and $25,000 later, we were able to give quite a big chunk. And this was strangers, friends, neighbors. people I don't even know donating money to his account for the skate park. So I just think that, you know, Patrick and Colin died very different ways, but they have united our community together, I think, for this cause.
We'll be remembering Colin in the new park. There's a whole section there that'll be in memory of Colin.
The community found an ally in Lake Havasu Parks and Recreations Director Bill Mulcahy, who was instrumental in helping secure a piece of city property on which the new park could be built.
It seems like prime real estate here. What kind of a coup did you pull to get a skate park on this property?
Well, we just needed a skate park, and this is the only property the city had, and we thought this would be a good reason to donate it, and so the city council donated the property to
this property's donated.
Right.
Wow.
You know, the other thing that's really worked, I think, is Rachelle and her group have got the kids buying into the program and assisting every chance they get.
This is inspiring for me, you know. It's just to see this level of involvement across the board is very encouraging. I think it'll be good things happening here in Lake Havasu City, but this will have a ripple effect in other communities as well.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it will.
The more places we provide for the skateboarders and BMX riders and those sports, the better. It gets them off the street and into a safe place.
No sports, but those kids in general, just stepping up in this way for young people is just so crucial. It's such a crucial time in your life that, you know, like I said, to feel that kind of support and to be that empowered, that's a ripple effect as well. That's going to affect these kids for the rest of their lives. They're going to be, you know, productive citizens because of that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty righteous of you ladies to, you know, step in and do this on behalf of, you know, the community, the young people here, and the kids are doing it themselves too, though, right?
Yeah, they are. You know, they've designed that park. I mean, we got skaters and bikers, which are typically two that compete for this small little spot. We got them all together in one room, sitting at one table, and it's so cool to see them all just unite and come together and work together to get their new park.
Yeah, and these same kids are going to city council meetings and making a stand for what they believe in and what they want to see happen, which is really, really impressive to see.
If everything just meshes together, we'll get it done real soon.
The need for a new park has brought parents, kids, and city officials together. And together, they are changing their skate scene and their community. The process of getting a skate park built is never an easy one, but through passion and persistence, the community continues to move closer to its goal of breaking ground on a world-class skate park in memory of Patrick and Colin.
I just want to say it's been a real pleasure to come out here to Lake Havasu City and hang with you all. I wish you all the best of luck in getting your new skate park built. I'm sure it's going to happen. I'm certain because I've met the lovely lady who is spearheading the entire project. Now, there's a lot going into getting this new skate park built. A lot of people are fighting really hard, and I think it's going to be up to you guys in the end to take some real sense of ownership and, you know, really feel empowered to make that skate park a positive place, a place where it's just about riding and everybody being together, having a good time. I think it's up to you guys to step up, take real ownership of that thing, and make it worth everybody's while. What do you think? Yeah! All right, who wants this?
Our Our children are the future, but they are more so the present. We need to rise up and do whatever we can to let them know that they are loved and appreciated right now. If that means implementing skateboard programs at their schools or fighting for skate parks in our communities, then that is what we must do. No matter what our kids' interests, whether it be skateboarding or ballet, we need to support our children and light the way so they can grow to become secure, independent, and productive adults.